What is going on, YouTube? I am Prepper Princess, the author of Living on Almost Nothing. If you are interested in purchasing my book, I'll go ahead and leave a link down in the description box below. It is also available in paperback form. Today we are going to talk about the 5 extreme frugal things that I do not do, but a whole bunch of other people do. So I will go ahead and tell you what they are, 5 things, and I'll explain to you why I do not do them. Because they're not quite as frugal as you think. Okay, so the first one is I do not dumpster dive. You always hear about people dumpster diving, and some people find some really great things, which is awesome, good for them. There's a couple of reasons why I don't dumpster dive. Okay, number 1, dumpsters on the West Coast, it's been in California, Arizona, and Nevada, everywhere that I've been. Dumpsters are either locked so that you can't open the top, or they're these long, like the long, tall dumpsters, and they have a tube coming out the top that goes directly from the dumpster to the store, and it's fully enclosed on top. So no matter what the circumstances are, there is no way to get into a dumpster in California, Arizona, or Nevada, the 3 states that I have tried. There's just simply no way to get into them. The second reason is, okay, for starters, in California, there is a law that took effect in 2022 where stores are not allowed to legally throw away any consumable food. All consumable food has to be donated to a food bank or other type of service that gives away that food for free to people in need. So I would, if I were ever in a position to where I couldn't afford my $100 a month grocery bill, which is what I spend per month, I would simply go to a food bank, because dumpster diving versus a food bank, you would get this essentially the same thing. I mean, that sounds weird, but you know what I mean. It kind of makes sense when you hear the explanation of how it works. In Arizona, it was the same thing. Every dumpster I ever went to was fully enclosed and locked. But even if the dumpsters were available to get into in Arizona or Nevada, I wouldn't have dumpster dived anyway, because it's so hot there that I would imagine that the food would have very quickly spoiled, and I simply wouldn't have trusted it for health and safety concerns. That's another thing. And another thing is that I literally spend $100 a month on food, 50 of that of which is my coffee. Seriously, I spend about $10 on one canister of coffee, and the rest of the money is half and half. I spend like $10 a week on half and half. Half and half used to be $1.68. So I was spending maybe, let's see, $3.20 times 4, so like $12 plus $8 for the coffee. So it was $20 just a couple years ago. Now it's $50 on coffee, but I've switched all of my meats to like beans, and I no longer eat carbs. It's just simply like fish or tuna, canned tuna, whatever, and beans, and well, I guess beans have carbs, and vegetables. So, and I'm 1 meal a day. So I don't eat as much as the normal person. I guess my body is adjusted to it. So I don't have a whole lot of food expenses anyway. And when it comes to stuff, dumpster diving for stuff, I simply call my family, or I'll put a post out on Facebook and say, hey, I need furniture. Can anybody hook me up? And like everybody raises their hand. This dining table, the chair, and you can't see it, but there's a side table over there, and I have another matching side table that goes with the coffee table. All of it was free because I threw it out there that I needed some chairs and some stuff like that. My family said, come pick it up. I did. Done deal. All right, number 2, I don't use coupons. What? I use this app and that app, and I use this, and I use the grocery loss leaders and stuff like that. That is great. I'm very happy for you. Extreme couponers, good for you. So some of the things that I've noticed with coupons, there's several different reasons there's always more than one reason why I don't do these things. Okay, starters. I shop at Winco and Grocery Outlet. Winco is employee owned. They don't do coupons. Their prices are so low, they do not accept coupons. Literally, like I go there, steak is $2.99 a pound, chicken is $1.99 a pound. They have these bulk bins where you take a bag like you do in the vegetable department and you fill it with, I don't know, pancake mix, and there you go. You get another bag, you fill it with banana chips. There you go. You get another bag, you fill it with almonds. There's no coupons for those type of products. The other place that I shop at is Grocery Outlet, which is pretty rare because I get pretty much everything that I need at Winco, and fortunately it's within a half-hour drive of where I live. But Grocery Outlet is the other one, and again, their prices are so low that they don't accept coupons. So, and I do notice another reason is that a lot of the coupon, not a lot, 95% to 99% of the coupons that I do see are typically for prepackaged food. Like I don't buy prepackaged food, or I do very, very rarely. I don't eat potato chips. I don't drink soda. I don't eat. I can't think of it, granola bars, Pop-Tarts. Like I don't eat that stuff. I simply eat. You know, I'll cook a whole chicken and vegetables, and then that's it. I mean, sometimes you'll see the ads that have loss leaders that are for fruits and stuff like that, but I simply don't use them. I grow a lot of fruit on my property now. I have oranges, lemons, apples, and I'm going to be adding at least 4 or 5 more fruit trees. So I will have, in grapes, I'll have Bing cherries. All of my fruit needs will be taken care of. When it comes to vegetables, I grow artichokes. I don't grow. We'll get into that later. Okay, so I don't use coupons. Number 3, I no longer shop at thrift stores. It's fun to browse. I'll give you that. But in the last few years, ever since you know what, the thrift stores are not really a bargain anymore. I'm fine. Well, for starters, that's reason number 1. They're not really a bargain anymore. If you can get a pair of pants at Target or Walmart for $15, but you go to the thrift store and they're $9, I would rather just spend the extra $4 or $5 and get a new pair. As opposed to the used ones that'll wear out a little bit faster. They'll cost 3/4 the cost, but they'll last only half as long. So that's one of the reasons. I do find that there was an awesome thrift store when I was in Arizona, and they had some awesome furniture deals, but I didn't need any furniture at the time. And when I moved here, I mean, I'm not going to pack up the cost of a truck to pack up a truck full of furniture, a U-Haul, and then haul it several hundred miles up north just because you got a good deal on it. You would have lost all of that money in the size of the truck that you would need without the furniture and the size of the truck you'd need with the furniture. So it wouldn't have been any sort of money saving. And I already had furniture when I moved to Arizona, so it wasn't a big deal. And again, I would just put it out there. I got furniture. I am good. And the clothing. So one of the things that I also do with clothing now, so what I used to do is back in my day, when pants were like $2 for $5, I'd stock up. I'd get like $20 worth, you know, I'd have 8 pairs or whatever. And I've taken more of a minimalist approach because first of all, those pants are typically the older styles, and the older style, I'm getting older. My body does not like the low-rise jeans anymore. You know, now I like the high-rise. I like the mom pants, the mom pant flares. I like the flare pants and the high waist. And those are really, really hard to find at thrift stores if you can find them at all. When it comes to shirts, I have a very simple wardrobe. I have maybe 4 or 5 different short sleeve shirts that I wear in the spring and summer. And then I've got like 5 plaid shirts that I wear in the winter, and you guys see them over and over and over again. Several of them are 3 years old or older, and I simply don't want to bring any new clothes into my life. I don't need them, and I honestly don't want them because I don't know what it is. I have decision fatigue. If I see too many options in front of me, I don't make a decision. So if I have too many clothes at this point, I'm just going to be like, you know what, screw it. I'm just wearing my pajamas out today. I'm going to walk out in sweatpants and a t-shirt and call it a day because I can't make a decision as to what I'm going to wear today because there's too many choices. So that is also a reason I don't shop at thrift stores. Number 4 is something that a lot of extremely frugal people do. I don't make my own laundry soap. What? I used to make my own laundry soap quite a bit. The problem I had is that the recipe would usually be like a 5-gallon jug, and I'm one person who does 1 load of laundry per week. And that jug would eventually get moldy after having it for 3 or 4 years. Plus, I would have to store the washing soda and store the Fels naphtha or the Zote soap for whatever reason, as well as there was one other ingredient. I can't remember. It was washing soda, Zote soap, and something else. But I simply didn't want to store all of that stuff. Then I went down to making a single bottle of it and blah, blah, blah. Now I bought this house and it came with a HE washer. So I need those little pods. And I buy these Amazon Essential Pods that was like $8 and I get like 120 pods. But you got to remember, I do laundry once a week. There's 52 weeks in a year and I have 120 pods. That's going to last me 2.5 years for $8 or $9. 2.5 years for $9. So, and plus, 2.5 years for $9. I'm not going to worry about the difference between $9 and $5 over the course of 2.5 years. It's a $4 difference over 2.5 years. So I'm simply not going to worry about it. A lot of people want to figure out how different ways they can save money on laundry. And to be honest, that 2.5 years is probably going to be stretched out to 3 to 3.5 because I don't use soap every single time. I will use soap usually for 2 weeks in a row, and then the third week I won't use soap. Because I strongly, strongly believe that we overuse soap in this world. Shampoo and conditioner, hand soap, face soap, body wash, lotion, dishwashing liquid, laundry detergent. We simply, in my personal opinion, and it's just an opinion, we just use too much of it because the commercials for the last 70 years have told us that we need to fill a whole cap full, even though we only need 1/5 of a cap full. We need to use a pod in every single wash. I simply don't believe that. And my clothes, I'm not out there digging trenches or working in a coal factory or, I'm not a diesel mechanic. So my clothes need washing a lot less frequently and they don't require a whole lot of soap because there's not really any stains on them. So, and then of course, if I feel like it, I do still have bars of Zote and Fels naphtha, the soap that does not expire, but I've had it for so many years from making that soap, from making the homemade soap, that if I do have a stain, I'll just rub the Zote soap on the stain with a little bit of water, and then I'll throw it in the washing machine without additional soap, and the stains get out. It smells good. It works for me. The last thing is number 5, and it comes with sort of a caveat. So let me explain. I don't grow a traditional garden. So whenever I see people who are doing homesteading, gardening, extreme frugality, I will see this garden that is, raised beds that go 50 feet that way and 20 feet across. And they've got 1 row of lettuce, 1 row of spinach, 1 row of onions, 1 row of zucchini, 1 row of this, 1 row of that. And it's cool to look at. I will give them that. I love it. I love looking at it. I absolutely do. But I don't how do I put this? There is no benefit to eating leafy greens, in my opinion. So I will eat Brussels sprouts, green beans, things that you can chew on that you have to bite into that make a sound when you bite, right? Lettuce, you have to have, there's only 15 calories in a head of lettuce. There's only, 10 calories in a giant handful of spinach. There's only a few calories in those leafy greens. And while people say that there's plenty of vitamins and minerals and stuff like that, those vitamins and minerals are also available in the higher calorie fruits and vegetables that are like green beans, Brussels sprouts, carrots, onions, potatoes. Same vitamins and minerals. Anyway, and trust me, I have researched this. You please feel free to research it yourself. Google it, go to your Webster's Dictionary or Encyclopedia Britannica, and you will come up with the same type of information. So I like vegetables that I can bite into. But those vegetables that I buy, carrots, potatoes, onions, green beans, sometimes corn, but very rarely do I eat corn. I like it in my fajitas, but that's about it. Brussels sprouts. The frequency at which I have to eat them at each meal, because I only eat one meal a day over 7 days. So if I buy a bag of Brussels sprouts, that lasts me a week. If I buy a bag of 2 zucchinis, it'll last me a week. 3 cans of green beans, it'll last me a week. So the cost and the time and effort I would have to put into growing those vegetables is not cost effective for me. I would be much better off making a YouTube video or doing a product review or going to my part-time job or, selling some Amazon books or something. That would accumulate much more money than the time and effort I would have to put into growing those vegetables to make it worth it. And the stuff that I buy at the store is extremely inexpensive. Like I said, carrots, potatoes, onions, so cheap. Like onions are like 69 cents a pound. Carrots are like $1 a pound. Potatoes are less than $1 a pound. Like sometimes you can get a 5-pound bag for $2.59. It's not cost effective for me. I do, however, like growing things that require almost no work. So I grow artichokes. I've got artichoke bushes out there. I swear I'm tired of artichokes, but artichokes require no maintenance. So I just plant them, I water them, and I leave them. That's it. I water them a few times and then they start acclimating to the weather. I don't have to do anything to them except occasionally, rip off a little branch there and that's it. I have fruit trees. I have 10 I have 10 fruit trees right now, and I will be adding probably 10 more. But I don't really have to pay for fruit. So the way that the whole system works is that each fruit is ripe at a different time. So I'll have oranges for 3 or 4 months every day, 3 or 4 months. And orange juice and oranges and more oranges and orange juice. Then I'll have red delicious, yellow delicious, and honey crisp apples, for 3 or 4 months. Then I'll have my Bing cherries, which are not grown yet, but eventually I will have Bing cherries for like 2 months at a time. And, the list goes on and on. So I don't really have to buy fruit. But the thing is that it's just you plant it, water it a few times, and then it just acclimates to the weather and I leave it. And that's it. That's all it took. So I do grow a garden, but not a traditional row garden with leafy greens. I don't waste my time with that. All right, folks, that is my list of 5 things. As an extreme cheapskate and I think I'm the most frugal person on YouTube. I don't know if it's between me and Beat the Bush as being the cheapest people on the planet, but I really think I'm up there, and those are 5 things that extremely frugal people do that I do not, and that is my reasons for not doing them. All right, folks, I hope this information has been helpful. Maybe think about it, do your thing. All right, folks, do what you can with what you've got. Prepper Princess out. They're on their little heated blanket, keeping nice and warm. Because we don't turn on the heater in this house. No, we do not. No, we do not. You guys are so cute. Rocky's snoring. Nala is staring. Good doggies. Good doggies. That's the side table I was talking about. The lamp was $6 at a thrift store. And the lampshade I found walking on a walk in right on top of somebody's garbage can. I talk about not dumpster diving. I didn't dive for it. It was just sitting on top and I picked it up. Then the table, and I also have another matching side table which will eventually go over here. Chair was my grandma's. There you go. Good puppies.